You know that email, "Hey, just checking in. Any updates?" It's not that your clients are annoying. It's that they don't have a clear place to see what's going on. In this 2025 tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a client portal in our favorite project management tool, ClickUp, so clients can easily check timelines, deliverables, files, and more without blowing up your inbox. So if you're ready to stop being your own project status hotline, this one's for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other ClickUp tutorials coming your way. And let's dive in. Let's break down what a client portal actually looks like in ClickUp in 2025, because a lot has changed since my last tutorial. Not just in ClickUp's features, but in how clients want to be communicated with. They don't always want to have to log into a new platform or dig through endless email threads. They just want simple, clear, and real-time updates. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you 3 different ways you can build a modern client portal using ClickUp. First, we're going to start with the traditional dashboard. Then I'm going to go into public view options for lighter touch updates. And then we're going to finish out with some automations, including emails and AI that keep your client in the loop without lifting a finger. So let's start with the classic, the client-facing dashboard, which you see here. This is the version that most people think of, a central visual dashboard that gives clients real-time insight into the project. So I want to walk you through what you can include on this dashboard and when I would recommend using a dashboard in ClickUp for your client portal. So here you'll see we have this attached to a project management template, right? So here you have your project where you're working through phases. Everyone's assigned to their different tasks. You can also have more of like a pipeline template as well, where you have like retainer clients and ongoing tasks. I'll even show you another example of if you just have one pipeline for all client projects because they're smaller projects and don't necessarily need their own list, but we'll get into that later. So something that is a huge update since my last portal tutorial is that you can now have dashboards as a view, which is so great for many reasons, right? For if you have a dashboard for every single project, whether internal or client projects, etc. It'll then just be attached right as a view to the list, which we love. Now, here's the difference between how this functions now with sharing and permissions versus if you were to build it as an independent dashboard just in your dashboard hub. So when you have a client dashboard, or any dashboard for that matter, as a view, if you want to share just the dashboard with the client, you cannot share just the dashboard if it is a view. When you go to invite them as a guest, you'll see share this list with all views. If you want to share a single view, then you have to just like copy this link and you can make this private like between your team. So this is something to highly consider. Now, that being said, the key decision in this is how involved you want the client in the project. Do you want them to actually be able to click into here and see all the things? You can also give them view-only access, but they're still going to be able to click in and see all the things. So communication with your team, you can absolutely private specific tasks if you just want specific tasks. But depending on how you manage your projects, there may be comments and things that you don't want your clients to see. So make that decision. But if you have very collaborative projects, this could be a fantastic way to add your clients to the list as a guest, so then you can actually assign things to them, communicate with them in here, etc. If you want to add your client as a guest, you can always just go to the list settings, sharing and permissions, add their email, hello@gmail.com, and then invite them as a guest. From here, then you can choose their permissions like I mentioned. So that is something to consider, right? Do I want them involved? Yes or no? And if you don't, again, you can always build this in the dashboard hub and then share it with them that way. So let's walk through the different things that you can include in a client portal dashboard in ClickUp. So I always recommend having, a walkthrough video of the dashboard getting started. You can have this on the dashboard. You could have it in their welcome email. You could have it in both. Having a welcome message that obviously you would customize before you add them to this. Something else that is newer is that you can have AI cards. So I thought this is a really cool one that you can add to a dashboard, which is an AI project update. So here you can say, okay, what are the settings? I want this to be giving them an update for the last 7 days, today, this week, etc. So this will always be up to date where they can see what's been done in the project. Again, this is something to consider. Do you want it giving specific updates, even if the team is like commenting back and forth? So again, this might be something that you don't want to include if the client doesn't have full visibility into the project. Then we have just some text blocks of like contact info and meetings, establishing boundaries and setting them up for success from the beginning. Here are working hours. Here's how to contact us. Here are some sessions coming up. We then have documents and links. So, their Google Drive folder, their onboarding doc, your CRM for their client portal where they can find their invoices and things like that. And then let's talk about the chat. So the chat is also something that they have changed now with ClickUp Chat, that it used to be that view-only guests could communicate in a client dashboard if it was in the dashboard hub or in your ClickUp. Now they can no longer comment in a chat if they are view only. So again, if you decide to go with the hub not having this connected as a view, then you wouldn't have a chat in here because they wouldn't be able to communicate with you in here. It would just be blank. They wouldn't have access. So something to consider, again, only available if you add them to the entire list. But this is a really great way. Sometimes people are like, my clients continue texting me or WhatsApping me, or things are getting lost in emails. So if you do add them to your ClickUp list, it is a great way to just have a direct chat with the client and ClickUp. Your team's in the loop and you don't have to worry about anything slipping through the cracks. Next, we added a task progress battery chart. So you can see if you go into add card, there are so many different things that you can add. Dashboards are so customizable. We love it. So with this client dashboard tutorial, we just have like the core things that I would recommend, but definitely take a look at all the different cards and options. So this is task progress, where they'll be able to see, okay, here's what is still in to do. Here are the different statuses. Here's what's complete. And so they're getting an idea of, the project percentage. As time goes on, the screen is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which all clients love to see. Having a text note block for project deliverables is always helpful. So you can just, again, have clear boundaries, reduce scope creep, and be like, this is exactly what we agreed upon in the project. And then we have 2 task list cards. So we have one that is tasks for review. So they can see this is filtered out, the status is client review. Again, if they are added to here, they can actually comment back and forth. And even if they're view only, they're still able to see what's waiting on them, which is super helpful. And then we have actually 3 task list cards. We have milestones. So this is where you can filter out that the task type is milestone, just so they can see the large milestones and markers in the project. Where are they at with them? What are the due dates? What can they expect? And then one last one with project progress total. So this looks just like the internal view, where they can see the project progress. What are the statuses of all the tasks? Who's working on what? Again, on this dashboard, you can also do things like hide assignees or due dates or things like that. Maybe you just want to show the status. Is this complete, or is it in progress? Is it waiting on them, etc. Now, there actually is one more thing I wanted to show you about a new dashboard feature that could also be super helpful without having your clients log in. And that is, you can now send automated reports to any email you want. So let me show you what that looks like. So you're going to right click on the dashboard view. You can also do this in the dashboards hub as well. Click on schedule report and then quick add. From here, you can decide, when do I want this report sent? Do I want it sent weekly on a specific day? Do I want it daily? Do I want it, whatever? You could choose whatever cadence you prefer. Annually, monthly, etc. And then you can choose, who do I want to send this to, and do I want to CC or BCC anyone? After you put in these emails, then you'll click create. And let me quickly show you what this looks like. So if I open up my email, you're now going to see it's just going to come in as export complete client dashboard. There's no way to customize this currently. So this is something you definitely have to keep your client in the loop about. And it says your dashboard export is attached. To view the full dashboard, obviously if they don't have access, they will not be able to click here, but it shows it as a PDF. So here they're just going to get a nice dashboard where they'd be able to see task progress, what's for review, etc. Now note, there is a caveat to this, which is if the task cards are not long enough, it will cut off some information. So that's something to just note, but this also is a really great way to just give them a PDF report of what's going on in their project without having them have to log in, and also without having them clicking buttons and seeing what's going on behind the scenes. So one last thing I want to show you when it comes to this dashboard is, if you are doing view only for them in the dashboard hub where you don't want them to interact with the dashboard, they are then not going to be able to see these things, right? If they don't have access to the list, they won't be able to see the list widget. They won't be able to see task progress, etc. So there are certain things that will not work. But if you do still want them to see it, I do have a hack for you, which is embedding a public view link. So this leads me into part 2 of this video, which is, what if your client doesn't actually want a full dashboard or doesn't want to log into another platform at all? That's where public view links come into place. So I'm going to walk through the options for the public views, and then I'm going to circle back and show you how you can add that to the dashboard. So the great news is that ClickUp makes it super easy to share progress without requiring your clients to sign in. So if you are going to add your client to the list as a guest or to a dashboard as a view-only guest, they are going to have to create a login, which for some clients may not be an issue at all. And others, maybe it's not like your ideal client. They don't want another tool that they have to log into. They'd rather just have a link that they can click and get project updates. So that's where public links come in. And I'm actually going to show you 3 different methods that you can do to have public links for your clients. So the first would be the list view. If you're going to do the public link method, what I would recommend is renaming your list view, one to be called internal view, and then right-clicking and duplicating this view as a list, and then calling this one and renaming it client view. So as you'll see, I already have one here, but I just want to show you how to do this directly in the tutorial. So from here, now what's great about this is you can then customize what your client sees or does not see. So you can, hide specific things. Maybe you don't want them to see who's working on what. Maybe you don't want them to see time estimate, time tracked, or maybe you do. So you can decide to hide or show what you prefer. And you can also, as you can see on this client view, what I did was I added a text field. So I added a custom field text area, and I called it Notes for Client. So in here, I could be like, okay, break down all project tasks. Here is an update on this. XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So that way the clients can be in the loop if you do want to share a specific note about that deliverable. So once you customize the view for the client and decide what you want them to see versus what you don't want them to see, sharing this is super easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click on the view, go to sharing and permissions. This link is going to be toggled off. So all you have to do is toggle this on and then copy the public link. Now, when I open this up in a new tab, you're going to see what this looks like to the client. So here, they'll just be able to see view only. Here's the project progress, and then they can click in and see any notes for them as well. So this way you can just share this link with them. They don't have to log in, and this is going to update in real time, which is exactly what you both want. Now you can also have this link expire. You can share this with search engines. You can embed this specific places, and you can also allow task opening on click. So if I click on that and then I refresh, then you'll see that if you do want them to be able to see inside a task, then you can have them open it. But what's great about this is you can customize, let me go back, into what you actually want them to see. So maybe you don't want them to see comments, maybe you just want them to see, a few different fields inside the task if they click into it. So that is the list view public link. Next, let's move on to doc view. So another way that you can do this, if you want it to be a little fancier, you want to include more information like the dashboard, but not have them log in, is doing a doc view. So you can add a doc, and then you can customize this. You could change this cover. You can even upload a custom one with your logo, their logo, etc. You can have different things like a sticky table of contents, which we love. And you can have the same type of information, a welcome message, contact info and meetings, documents and links. Obviously, there are going to be certain limitations, like you can't have specific fancy widgets of project progress and stuff like that, battery charts, AI summaries, but you will be able to do a lot within a doc, especially more than you can do within the list view. And then the last piece of this too is you can then take that client list view and embed it right into the doc. So I want to show you how to do that. So if you want to have project progress, I can come to the client view, come back to sharing and permissions and copy this public link, go back to the document, scroll down, and here I can do /embed, and then embed the public template, which is fantastic. So then you kind of get the best of both worlds here. So now, once you decide what your doc looks like, you can do the same thing with the sharing and permissions. So if you go right click, sharing and permissions, again, this is going to be toggled off. So you can just toggle on, share link with anyone, copy that public link, and then this is what it looks like to the client. So here, they're going to have this beautiful portal, all the information they need here, clickable links, and then this project progress down at the bottom. So it's going to default to being small, but they can always expand it and see the full list and all the full fields. So again, I would recommend even having a welcome video on navigating the portal, showing them the sticky table of contents so they know how to navigate this. But again, another great way to have just a public link view for them. So while we're on the note of embedding, I also want to loop back and show you how to embed this on the client dashboard before we move on to the last public view option. So let's go ahead again, grab that public link and sharing and permissions, go back to the client dashboard. Again, this would be if it was in the dashboard hubs, not on the view, but just to show you here. You can then add a card, and just like we added an embed widget on the doc, you can add an embed card here. So I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to call this project progress and add. And now this is going to do the same exact idea as having the task list card in the dashboard, except it's going to be view only. They won't be able to click into it, and they will be able to see it even if they're not added to that individual list. Okay, so let's wrap up part 2, the link views, with the last type of client portal, which is public task views. So I'm going to explain a use case that we actually used with a recent client of ours of when this would make sense. So we worked with a video production company where they have all of their projects in one pipeline. So you can see video production clients, client A, B, C, D, E, the list goes on. Now, the reason they do this, and this is something that we consult with during our custom projects. So if you are interested in working with us one-on-one, you can always visit our contact page and book a call with us. So what we consult with you on is how large are your projects, who's involved, what does the process look like? And then we'll say, okay, can this live in one pipeline? Every client's a task. Should this live in one list, like we showed you these project management templates, or should every client have even a folder or a space? It depends on how large and robust your projects are. So for this video production client, it made the most sense that they had one pipeline of all the projects because they're just producing one video for the client. That's the whole entire project. So they would have the task of the video project name. They would then have all the subtasks that the team had to do. Every video, the team could just go into the task and have all the information that they need about that task all in one place. Great, we love it. So then our client was like, okay, I want to show a project update and have transparency, but I don't want to add them to this task as a guest. That would be crazy. It's such a short project. Usually these are done in 2 to 3 weeks, and asked our suggestion. So this is where the public link sharing comes into play. Just like we shared a list view and a doc, you can actually share a task publicly as well. So you can go into share, click on share link with anyone, and then you can decide what properties do I want to display. I don't want to show comments, I don't want to show due dates, etc. And decide, what's the information I want them to see. From here, you can then copy the public link, and this is what the task view looks like. So in here, they would be able to see the description if you want them to, all the pertinent information about that project, and then the subtasks. So they'd be able to see, okay, what are the different things? They can see what's been done already, what's in progress. The list goes on. So that is how you can share a singular task with a client and keep them in the loop again without having them have to log in. Now to wrap up section 2, the public link option is perfect for more hands-off clients, or if you want to just keep things clean and focused. Maybe it's also a good idea for shorter projects as well and things that don't really need tons of client feedback. It still gives them transparency, but way less back and forth. So now we move on to the last portion of this video, which is the third type of client updates. So this is a method most people wouldn't think of as a client portal, but it's definitely one of our favorites. So let's move on to part 3, automated email updates and AI enhancements. So I'm actually going to stay right in this list where I'm going to demo this piece and talk to you about how sometimes client portals don't have to be visual. They just need to deliver the right information at the right time. So I'm going to show you how with a few automations, you can actually send regular updates to your client with just the click of a button, and how ClickUp AI can even help you summarize project progress, recent activity, comments, and format it into a clean client-facing message. So let's dive in. Okay, so we're back in the video production clients, right? This is going to work really well, especially if you have, one task for each client. Even if you have a client database where you're updating in the comments section about what's going on with the project, you can do this in multiple different ways. But if I come back into video production clients, what I did in here was I added an AI custom field. So you can see these here with this magenta color. These are AI fields. ClickUp AI is so amazing. I can't wait to create more videos for you guys on all the AI things that have come out, and I know there's so many to come. So make sure you subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. So what I did was I created a summary field for each of these projects, right? So this is an AI field where you can say, okay, what's the project summary? And this will say, the work starts 10/1, is due by 10/22. Christy is handling XYZ. These are assigned to editing, etc., etc. Now with AI prompts, you can also create custom prompts as well. So custom text, and then actually tell AI how to fill this out. So you could be like, this is meant for a project update. I don't want to talk about assignees. I want to just, here's the method of how I want this update to be. Take all the information from the subtasks and the comments and summarize this. So you can also make this custom, or you can use one of the native fields as well. So what you can do here is, let me go ahead, I'm going to fill in some information here. So I'm going to put Christy De Silva, primary contact first name is Christy, primary contact email address, I'll do support@desilvalife.com. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to check that the AI summary is good. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it into this long text field called client updates. This way I can edit this to be what I want, right? If this always hits the nail on the head, you can skip this part, but you might want to add your own things into what the progress update is. Now from here, all you have to do is click this send update button, and it's going to send the update to the client. No more manually typing out a whole email, things getting lost, etc. So let me show you how to set this up, and then I'll click the button. Okay, so when you are adding a button field, which is new by the way, it's going to have you set this up and then add an automation before you save it, because obviously it's going to know that when you click the button, something has to happen, right? So let me show you how I set up in automations this button click. So what I did was, when the button is clicked, it's going to send an email to the primary contact email address. The subject is going to be task name. Here we have it as the client, but how our video production client did it was it was the name of the project. So it'd be like De Silva Life promo video. And then it'd be dash weekly update from De Silva Life. Then it would say, hi, primary contact first name. Here's your latest update on De Silva Life promo video. We're excited about the progress. Here's the project summary. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll keep things moving and send the update in the next 7 days. So once this is set up, all you have to do, again, is refresh the project summary, put it into the client updates, edit anything that you want, and then click on this send update button. Then you're going to see I added this latest comment field as well, so it can see this here. And now let me show you how this looks on the email end. So now when I come into my inbox, you'll see that I have this here, the client E, so that would be like De Silva Life promo video, weekly update from De Silva Life. It comes in with the project summary in the click of a button. So pretty cool if you ask me. Definitely, takes a lot of admin time out of the picture, and also keeps things standardized and updated in ClickUp in real time. So when I do come back to this list, then the whole team is also in the loop about all of the project updates that I've sent to the client, because they are nicely logged in the comment section. And then when the client replies, you'll also see we had an autoresponder on our support inbox, but you'll see that it also gets threaded right into the comments as well, which is amazing. We love to see it. So to wrap up, no matter which style you choose, whether it's the dashboard, the public view, or automated updates, the goal remains the same. It's to give your clients clarity and keep them in the loop without adding more complexity. There you have it, your client portal built-in ClickUp, ready to wow. When clients can see what's happening without asking, you don't just look professional, you become the kind of agency that they stick with long-term and send new clients your way. So if you want a plug-and-play solution to download this client portal dashboard right into your ClickUp, go ahead and check out our client management template in our shop. Or better yet, if you want us to customize one completely to your business, brand, and workflow, book a call with us today and let's see how we can work together. The link's in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video and it gave you some of your time back and a whole lot of sanity, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any other ClickUp tutorials coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.